Well, it simplified matters. Obviously not to our advantage, because everybody would have preferred if the United Kingdom would have sought some kind of access into the single market. We're heading for a hard Brexit. That much is clear. And in that kind of situation, the important issue is what is going to happen at the border. How far is Spain going to be able to use that border as a pressure point? Because you've also seen the submissions made by the government to the House of Lords, which actually show that about 40% of all employees here in Gibraltar are crossing that border. So that border is absolutely vital. If the United Kingdom government feels that it's possible to negotiate a favourable agreement in relation to Northern Ireland so that there is a free-flowing border, then that kind of arrangement ought to be transposed in relation to Gibraltar, Spain. That's easier said than done, and I accept that. But what we've got to really focus is on that, and indeed on what the government has already been doing, which I suggested from the very beginning, which is to make sure that we have and we amplify any access into the UK market as well.
The UK government has been criticised for not having provided clarity to date, and I think the Prime Minister yesterday provided that, not entirely to everybody's liking, but at least we have a much clearer view now of what the UK is trying to achieve. Obviously, there have been reactions in Europe which have called into doubt the likelihood of such a deal being struck, which preserves some good things for Britain but doesn't require Britain to have obligations in Europe. We'll have to see how that pans out. In the context of Gibraltar, as we have been saying throughout, Gibraltar is very flexible. Gibraltar obviously would rather not be where we are in terms of EU membership. It would rather have more Europe than less Europe. But I remain confident that the certainty that's been provided will give us now a clear blueprint as to what we're working with, and I think that Gibraltar is going to be able to piggyback again on whatever the city achieves for itself, both in terms of deals with Europe, but just as importantly now for deals outside Europe.
I think it's good to have degrees of certainty in that. So we knew what many suspected, but it's been confirmed that the UK and Gibraltar will be leaving the single market, but not leaving Europe, and that's important because we still will be trading or hope to trade with Europe, but also be free to trade and strike free trade agreements with other jurisdictions as well. So those are good things, those are good points. Another good point is the aspect of the transitional stage. So businesses, wherever they are, in the UK or Northern Ireland or in Gibraltar, must be given time to make the necessary changes for the adjustments to the new relationship once the negotiations have been concluded. That's important. And some encouragement, we think, that although not mentioned specifically, but a mirror comment towards the border between Northern Ireland and the Republic of Ireland, that the parties will work hard to find a working solution.